For all of you in the band, who is the biggest prankster in the band and who pulled the best prank, I can tell you a story about the best prank that I've been part of on this last tour with Camelot and Gus G. Me and the drummer Joe kind of got into bugging each other and pranking each other, and it escalated really quick. And eventually, near the end, we decided to cover his drum set in baby powder for the final show. And then when he didn't know about it, everyone got in on it. And when he came out, everything was just covered in dust. And when he hit it, it just big powder dust, and all his gear was covered. It was pretty good. He didn't seem impressed. What food from any tour city you have been to has been your favorite? I'd have to say on the Kiss tour, we ended up in Memphis, and I went to this place called the Blue Moon Cafe, I believe. It's right across the street from the BB King restaurant, and I had some crazy good catfish and ribs, and they gave them to me on the same plate, and it was totally awesome. Do you have a band ritual before starting a show? I think everyone kind of separates and kind of concentrates. I do some stretching, and then I do some warming up, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yes, you're great musicians with great sound. Why not go old school rather than modern metal? Well, I think that's kind of just a I don't know, man. It's, that stuff's been done before. I love it. We all love it, but I mean, you kind of got to put your own spin on it, or else you're just a counterfeit of what's already been there before. You don't, you got to have your own creative spin on it. So we choose to update the sound instead of sound out of the 80s. Don't get me wrong, I love that stuff and on to the end of the day. So for all of you in general, what is your favorite city to play in North America and Europe? Well, you know what? My most favorite show in North America would have been Nashville on the Kiss tour, because it was a epic hockey arena, and it was so cool. You went out and you could just see lights everywhere and people cheering, and it was very cool. And then my current favorite European city, probably Oslo, Norway, because I'd never been there till recently, and it was a very cool city and a very cool show. For the whole band, what was the first album you ever purchased? Not even gonna lie, Limp Bizkit, Significant Other, and I still like that. I'll give a shit what you have to say. This one's to me. With the double album on the way, we can get a song or more where you have a primary writing credit. I want to hear you run wild with some crazy bass lines, Steve Harris / Dave Ellison. I would definitely like to see some sweet ass riffage as well, so I hope not to let you down on that one. Are you nervous before going on stage? You know what, I think that the nervousness thing only happens when you're about to do something you haven't experienced yet. So I mean, the first Kiss show was nerve-wracking, but I mean, I can step on a stage pretty much where there are crowds or anything, that I'm used to playing, clubs, bars, small theaters, and there's no nerves at all. But I mean, first time I stepped in front of, an amphitheater or an arena in front of a Kiss crowd, that was a little intimidating, but it was totally awesome. Will you be coming to play New Zealand? I sure hope so. I would like to go out there. I know that, I mean, it's a relatively small distance to go between New Zealand and Australia, and I'd like to think eventually we'll get to play Soundwave, and since we're over there, we can just go over there as well, and that would be great. There's a one here talking about your typical suitcase. Man, I've screwed this one up a lot. I always forget stuff. You can either pack too heavy or too light. I mean, it's always a bit of a challenge packing due to flights and everything, but basics, socks, underwear, shirts, pants. I know a lot of dudes who get away with one pair of pants for a month. I hope it's not the same with their underwear, but who knows. And if you could change one thing about the world or have one wish answered, what would it be? I would wish the music industry. Nah, that's pretty selfish. I don't even want to answer that one.